Just imagine if a Shaolin monk suddenly started studying in an ordinary school. How would that even look? That's exactly what happens in today's story. Our story begins with a boy named Li, who had been training in Kung Fu since childhood at a Shaolin monastery. He had grown up there, learning discipline and martial arts every single day. One day, Li walked into the monastery's temple and prayed for forgiveness. He knew that what he was about to do might not be right. Suddenly, one of the warriors attacked him from the side. The attack came out of nowhere, but Li quickly dodged and faced his opponent head-on. The warrior slammed him into the wall, yet Li leapt right back, striking powerful blows in mid-air that landed straight on the fighter's chest, and within moments, he defeated him. Next came another challenger, a swordsman, but Li, with his skill and focus, made him bite the dust as well. Then he moved toward a third warrior who was meditating. When Li's footsteps echoed, that warrior smashed the beads of his rosary against the mirror. The shards flashed, blinding Li for a moment. Taking advantage, the fighter grabbed Li and threw him hard onto the ground. It looked like Li was about to lose, but he slipped away just in time, and the two engaged in an intense battle. In the end, Li emerged victorious once again. Afterwards, he bowed respectfully before the temple altar and quietly walked out. His teacher congratulated him, saying that among all the students, Li had shown the highest level of talent and mastery in the final test. As a reward, he would get the chance to go to a new school in the city, see a completely different world for a Shaolin monk. In the city, Li would stay with a small family of 3, a scientist named Dr. Han and his 2 children, a boy and a girl. Dr. Han happened to be a friend of Li's monastery teacher, so Li packed up his few belongings and set out for the city to begin a new chapter of life. Meanwhile, at that city school, there was a 15-year-old boy named Fook, a skilled taekwondo fighter. His younger sister, Lanae, admired her brother's strength and passion. She managed the taekwondo club at school and always observed Fook's matches carefully, pointing out his mistakes so he could improve. Their father, Dr. Han, worked tirelessly in his lab. His wife had passed away years earlier, so he buried himself in his research. He was developing a special device that had already caught the attention of a dangerous local gang. One day, Dr. Han phoned home. Lanae sounded upset, complaining that her father was never home. Dr. Han promised he'd return soon and told her to open a package he had sent, a gift for her. Inside that package was the very device the gang wanted to steal. Just then, Li arrived and knocked on their door. Lanae opened it and welcomed him inside, showing him his new room. At the same time, the gang members captured Dr. Han. Their leader, Larry, threatened him, demanding the mysterious device. Dr. Han denied everything, saying he was only working on AI technology, an invention that would let his children talk to a robot using their late mother's voice. But Larry didn't believe a word. He checked the CCTV footage and realized the device had already been delivered to Dr. Han's home. He sent 2 of his goons, Loppy and Fit, to steal it. The pair were overjoyed. It was their first mission as proper gangsters. They dressed up in ridiculous disguises and waited outside Lanny's house, planning to sneak in at night. Then one of them suggested they should try stealing it during the day, since the kids would be out at school anyway. Back at the house, Li was adjusting to his new environment, learning how things worked in the city. One day, he saw Lanae watching Fook's taekwondo match, and the sport immediately caught his interest. That night, while Li sat quietly meditating, Yuk's loud video game noises sparked a small argument between them, but soon the two were laughing and playing together. Meanwhile, in her room, Lani finally opened her father's gift. Inside, she found a panda-shaped keychain, not realizing that it was actually the secret device the gang had been after all along. When she pressed a button, the panda asked her to set a password. Confused, she said, "What password?" And by accident, those exact words became the password itself. When she turned the panda on, she was shocked. It spoke with her mother's artificial intelligence voice. The next morning, Li, Yuk, and Lanae all left together for their first day of school. The 2 goons spotted them leaving and decided it was time to act. But then one of them noticed Lanae's panda keychain hanging from her bag. That was the device. Now they just needed to grab it. That night, as they planned the theft, Li met Fuck for the first time. While the kids were chatting, one goon secretly snatched the panda keychain and ran. Li caught sight of him and chased immediately, showing off his Shaolin agility. Fuck joined the chase, and together they cornered the thief and gave him a solid beating. But the goon still didn't give up. He managed to snatch the panda again and sprint away. This time, the kids and their friends teamed up, stuffed the thief into a trash bin, and rolled him right down the street. The next day at school, everyone was stunned when they saw a real Shaolin warrior among them. The students couldn't stop asking Li silly questions. One even asked if he could ever get married. Their teacher finally calmed them down, saying, "Save all that for playtime." During the games period, the coach announced that next month there would be a fitness test, and whoever failed it wouldn't be promoted to the next class. Hearing that, Yuk almost fainted. The poor guy was really overweight and barely managed to move around properly. The coach asked everyone to run a 100-meter sprint. Lee finished 2 full laps before most of the others completed even 1. After that, the coach made them do push-ups. This was Lee's specialty. He easily did more than 100, while the others barely managed 2. Then Lee went ahead and showed off with one-handed push-ups, leaving everyone cheering in disbelief. Next came the high jump test, which for Lee was child's play. Poor Yuk tried his best but ended up face first on the ground. Meanwhile, at Dr. Han's lab, Larry had the scientist tied up and was torturing him, beating him with a golf club to force him to reveal the truth about the device. That night, the 2 goons decided to sneak into Lanei's house again, but Lee caught sight of them and hid behind a toy, scaring them with sudden moves. The goons noticed him and attacked, managing to snatch the panda device before escaping once more. Lee told Lanei and Yuk everything that had happened, but they thought he was joking. Later, we see the goons lying down with ice packs on their faces after being beaten earlier. It turns out they had accidentally stolen a perfume bottle that looked just like the panda keychain, not the real device. Larry was furious. He had to sell that special device to a company within 3 days, and now he was running out of time. In rage, he shot golf balls at the 2 goons and threatened them to bring the real device no matter what. The next day, everyone gathered to watch Fuck's big taekwondo match. Yuk and Lanei sat at the back chatting. But guess what? Those same 2 goons showed up there too, this time disguised as girls. They spotted the panda keychain hanging from Lanei's bag again and decided to wait for the right moment to steal it. Meanwhile, Lee challenged Fook to a friendly match in front of everyone. Excited, all the students ran toward the ground to watch them fight. Seeing the distraction, the goons tried to steal the bag, but their fake wigs got caught in it, exposing them completely. The fight between Lee and Fuck was intense. Both of them were evenly matched, exchanging fast kicks and punches. Eventually, they decided to call it a draw, but as everyone turned around, they recognized the goons. The students charged toward them, beating them up badly. But this time, the goons played dirty. They threatened to hurt one of the students and managed to grab the panda device before running off again. After that, the kids went straight to Principal Suphole, explaining everything that had happened. He immediately called the police to report the theft. Lee, however, blamed himself. He thought if he hadn't challenged Fook to that match, Lanei wouldn't have left her bag behind. But his friends comforted him. Meanwhile, Larry finally got his hands on the device. He connected it to his computer and tried to run a special program, but it required a password. Larry didn't know it, so he called in a few computer experts to break the lock. But even after a whole day, they failed to crack it. By now, Larry was completely enraged. Then he saw a message pop up on Dr. Han's phone. It was from Lanei, saying she wanted her father to come home for her birthday tomorrow. Larry replied and promised to be there for the party. The next day, Lanei and her friends were busy decorating the house for her birthday party. Later, everyone went out to buy gifts for her, leaving Lanei home alone. Then she received a text message. She stepped out, but as soon as she opened the door, she was kidnapped and dragged into a van. At that very moment, Lee and his friends saw the van speeding away. They grabbed their bicycles and started chasing it through the streets. After a wild chase, they finally tracked the van all the way to Dr. Han's laboratory. Inside, Larry was arguing with his business partner. They were supposed to sell the device the next day, but without the password, it was useless. Furious, Larry held a knife to Lanei's throat and demanded the password. Scared and confused, she said, "What password?" And that exact phrase activated the system. Outside, the same 2 goons stood guard. Lee and Fook arrived silently and took them down within moments using perfect teamwork. Then they ran inside, only to be confronted by Larry's top fighter, a dangerous martial artist. Meanwhile, Yuk sneaked in from behind and freed Dr. Han and Lanei while Larry was distracted. Lee soon joined them and started battling the rest of the goons, unleashing his Shaolin moves one after another. Larry tried to flee with the panda bag, but Dr. Han, Yuk, and Lanei caught up to him and gave him the beating he deserved. Finally, Lee and Fuck faced Larry's fighter one last time in an epic final showdown, and defeated him. Just then, the police arrived and arrested Larry and all his goons. During the school assembly, Principal Suphole proudly awarded Lee and Yuk medals for their bravery. And that's how this exciting story of courage, friendship, and Kung Fu came to an end. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay awesome.